Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about Saw 3 as we continue down the path that is the Saw franchise. Gotta say, this is a low step. I thought Saw 2 was actually really good, and I thought that the first Saw was kind of a mediocre film. So, we stepped up, and now we're kind of taking a dip back down. So, once again, directed by Darren Lynn Bousman, 2006 horror crime film. Although the crime aspect, it's more of a horror drama than it is a horror crime film. Just because there's actually not that much of a cop plot. There's maybe 10 minutes of cop plot throughout the whole film. Excuse me. So we have a lot of returning cast members, of course. Shawnee Smith as Amanda Young, Tobin Bell as Jigsaw. A couple new, we have Angus McFadden as Jeff, Bahar Samiketh, I'm so sorry if I screwed that up, as Lynn. Lyric Bent was in the last film, so he's returning as Rig. And finally, a series namestay who will be here for pretty much the rest of the series up until Jigsaw. Costas Mandalore as Mark Hoffman, or the Hoffmanator, depending on who you ask. I like the name Hoffmanator. He's this totally badass detective who's psychotic, and it's kind of funny to watch. Has a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's definitely earned. Like I said, this is a step down from Saw 2. Off of a budget of $10 million, it made $164.9 million at the box office, so didn't do too bad, didn't do too well. Obviously it more than doubled its budget, so at least it's considered a box office success, but definitely not a summer blockbuster. But I don't even think it came out in the summer. I will say I'm probably going to hop on the hate train for this one, just because I think I've said this enough that it's definitely a step down. Really, it's even a step down from that first film. As you know, I was kind of iffy about it, but this one I think I'm more or less not so iffy, but more on the, yeah, this isn't that good. So the movie doesn't really keep me focused at all, and I can say that I was watching and then not watching and then watching again and then drifting off because it kind of feels boring. None of the traps all the good traps they get out at the beginning of the film within the first 10 minutes, and I'll talk about that in a second. The rest of the traps, they're interesting. There's one where Jeff's gotta save, I think it was someone who, basically the whole plot of the movie is there's this guy named Jeff. He witnessed his son get killed. Now he's got to go through and forgive all the people who allowed the guy to go free. The judge, the jury, and even a woman who witnessed the crime but left. And finally, obviously, the guy who actually killed his son. So the woman who left the scene and didn't confess to what she saw gets put in this really, really gruesome trap that's kind of uncomfortable to watch. She's getting sprayed down with water in this freezing cold room, and she freezes to death. That's not creepy. That's not gory. That's horrifying. That's evoking fear, in my opinion. Which, obviously, it's a horror movie. That's what they're meant to do. I mean, not for nothing. Shocker, I'm going to jump down this boat. When I first watched Halloween, I was terrified. I'm pretty sure I watched it in a class called Cinematic Literacy. I'm pretty sure I told my teacher, hell no, I'm not watching a horror movie. But, not for nothing, when I got to, the fifth film, the bargain dollar bin of movies there, I was just kind of like, this really isn't that scary. So to watch someone get frozen to death, getting, frozen, you kind of get a little uneasy there. that's just me. I find it boring. Okay, I don't know how I feel about that statement anymore. I made this last night, obviously. I find it kind of boring. The reason being, I just don't feel as engaged as I was for Saw 2. And I'm going to hold a lot of these movies to Saw 2. I think that's one of the best, if not the best. It has a really strong beginning when we see what Allison Carey is up to, doing her damn job like the best damn detective out there. And, so what she's investigating is the latest Saw, or Jigsaw trap, which there's a guy, he's got hooks pretty much everywhere on his body, and he's got to rip them out to escape, yada yada yada. And it's gross. It's really gross. There's one through his nose, there's one through each Achilles heel. You know, non-survivable things. And then so she gets kidnapped by a pig-napped? I don't know. And so she gets strapped to an inescapable trap, which is made by, spoiler alert, Amanda Young. Her plot is kind of, she's making all these inescapable traps to kill people, and that's not how Jigsaw lives. That man is so freaking high and mighty of himself. And so basically, to describe the trap, she's got metal bars basically screwed into her ribs, and there's a key to escape the trap inside a jar of acid. Being a badass, just sticks her hand in the acid, pulls the key out, unlocks it, doesn't come unlocked. Timer goes off. Ribs get ripped out. Which, full disclosure, horrifying to think about, because when I was like 7, my dad had a car fall on his ribs, and that's just disgusting to think about. So yeah, so like I said, she's dead, and my interest for the series flies out like a severed rib. The plot, like I said, revolves around a guy named Jeff, and I already explained the entire plot, so I'm just gonna quickly dive through this. Jeff is put inside of the Jigsaw circuit in order to forgive both the man who killed his son in a car accident and the people who let him go, like I said, the judge and the witness who ran away from the scene. He is notoriously uninteresting and slow. Oh my god, he is slow. He walks at a snail's pace. Michael Myers walks faster than him. Okay? Full disclosure. Like, this ain't no John Wick, alright? This is the slowest guy you've ever seen. Meanwhile, the cop plot has been replaced by soap opera. Jeff's wife has to perform surgery on Jigsaw, aka John Kramer. We knew his name, but it wasn't that important. I'm gonna call him John for most of this. Or I'll call him Jigsaw, but right now I'm gonna use his name John, just because it adds the human nature. Fucking bullshit. Anywho, so she has to perform surgery, and the whole plot of these films, like all 8 films, centers around John's cancer and how the doctors made a mistake and mixed up his x-ray with someone else's, and they didn't catch the cancer soon enough. That's why he kills. Stupid, right? Yeah. So now he makes people forgive the people who have wronged them, even though I think there's only one movie that he forgives the person who wronged him. I don't even remember which one it is. I want to say it's like 5 or 6. It could be the worst movie in this franchise, Saw 3D, which I have yet to see and am not looking forward to doing so. Also known as Saw the Final Chapter, I want to say. Yeah, Saw the Final Chapter, Saw 3D, whatever you want to call it. Also, Amanda Young works with him now, and she's been there since the beginning. That was set up in the last film, when she trapped Eric Matthews in the same shit room from the first movie, And but I didn't really care to mention it just because it works. The explanation works better for this. Also, these movies are kind of told in a weird format where you find out things that happened in the last movie in the next movie or freaking 5 movies from now. You know, stupid stuff like that. I'm petting my cat to keep him calm. The acting, pretty mixed. Oh, well, okay, actually, I found Jeff to be whiny. Stop. Going in my garbage can, weirdo. Jeff is pretty whiny. Amanda is too over the top, insane in a bad way. It was as if she wanted to sleep with Jigsaw. I'm not kidding. Like, I seriously... Ow! Stop. Rude. I seriously think she was trying to hop on the J train, if you know what I mean. It's ridiculous. Meanwhile, Dina Meyer, what little we see of her, is really good. There's really no chemistry between the cast because Donnie Wahlberg and Dina Meyer are not the center of attention anymore. That's this movie's fault. That's what my biggest issue with this movie is. These guys aren't in it. I loved Donnie Wahlberg in the last movie. I loved Dina Meyer in the last movie. Hell, even what's his name here? Lyric Bent was great in the last film. They're really not in it. They're in it for a few minutes. It's stupid. Donnie Wahlberg comes back in like 5 minutes at the end of the movie and then really gets his time to shine in the next film. The effects are nice, which is something this series is good at, having great practical effects. The CG comes in a little bit, don't worry. There's some setup for future films, but not too much at all. Mostly revolves around John Kramer and the cancer and this weird relationship he had with someone. The film does introduce the insane Mark Hoffman, so that is a plus, but he's not around just yet. He will be here, though. To grade this, very simple. I can't give it much above a 5, so that's what it's going to earn. 5 out of 10. Yes, if you're going to watch the Saw series, you have to watch it, but honestly, it's not a sequel I really recommend. That will always be Saw 2. I hear Saw 4 is pretty good, but we have yet to see that in person. Tuesdays, the beginning of the X-Men movies, I do enjoy, with X-Men First Class. So until X-Men First Class, I'm Luke, and I will see you guys later.